beautiful. And when she got divorced, she was 38 years old, so she was still young and really attractive. And the man that hired her to manage the apartments said, "You're so attractive, I think you'll entice the right people to come here." I remember him telling her he thought she was really cute. But so she dated a lot. And we had these men come over, and one was a dentist, Dr. Fulmer. He was a dentist. He was so wealthy. I remember he had rings on with big diamonds, you know. He was just very wealthy.
And
so
Spencer gonna be a wealthy dentist.
That's my
At
ring.
least he showed his wealth on his ring.
he dressed immaculately, and he'd always wear a suit and tie when he came to get her, and they'd go out dancing and to dinner, I guess. But he didn't just bring us a little treat. He would bring us an entire box of Hershey bars. So Paul, my little brother Paulie would say, "Are you going out with Dr. Kimball again? We're all out of candy."
It's time for a new one.
Well, you know, usually people give you a bar or something. They don't have to bring anything. But I remember he would bring an entire box of Hershey bars with almonds in it. That's where I learned to love Hershey bars with almonds in them. Because we got, you know, how many are in a box? Like 24, 36?
We're all out of candy.
Yeah, you got to date the dentist tonight, Mom?
So how long did your mom date before she got remarried again?
Oh, 58. The next man she married was Arthur, and I was a sophomore in high school, so 1962. So,
Wow.
6 years.
Yeah.
5 or
Yeah.
4 to 5.
So then did you
She
move
met
from the
Arthur.
apartment to Arthur's house?
No, he wasn't a member of the church, and so Mom had the missionaries come over to our place. No, we were living on Elmira Street, over off by IBM and off of Sanitary, so we weren't in the
What city?
apartments anymore. San Jose still. It's huge.
San Jose, California?
Yeah, San Jose, California. We were living on Elmira, so I was a sophomore when he got baptized, and then they just got married, and they were sealed in the temple and everything. I remember that.
You remember the
How did you
address
feel
on
about
Elmira
it?
Street?
Yeah. I think it was 638 Elmira Street.
638 Elmira Street.
Wow.
Anyway, it's in
San
San
Jose.
Jose somewhere. Then they got married, and they moved to a new house that Arthur was selling homes. You know, he was like a, what do they call it?
Realtor.
Real estate or investor.
Yeah. Just someone that works at a place where you sell homes. I don't think he was a real estate person, but anyway, he sold homes. They had one built on Santa Teresa Boulevard, and that's where they lived. But then I left. I was working and going to San Jose State College, but I left to come to BYU right about after that. Let's see, I guess it was 68. So they were married, I don't know, they probably got married in 63, I don't know, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then I came to BYU for most of their married life.
How did you feel about him when she was getting married?
Because you were the only one at home. Because
Oh,
Paul
yeah,
was living
Paul
with
was in
Grandma
Hawaii
Story.
with
Huh?
my dad.
Yeah, your Uncle Paul, when he was 14, he was 6'6", okay? And one night we got a call from the police, woke Mom up, and I guess I heard the phone. And the police had found Paul joyriding, and he had opened the garage and rolled my mom's little car out in the road, and then took off and took a joyride just in the middle of the night. He was 14, but he looked, you know, big. And I guess the police found him, and Mom was so afraid that he was gonna get arrested or go to juvie like they call it, go to juvenile hall. I remember she called my dad and said, "I think he needs a man in his life. You know, he needs to go and live with you." And that's my only regret as far as my brother in my whole life, that I didn't say, "No, I don't want him to go live with Dad. Dad's not a member." I mean, he was a member of the church, but he wasn't active and all of that. And I should have stood up for him. I think I was 16 at the time, because he was 14, yeah, about that. Is because I missed going to school with him, all of our high school. And I think I could have helped him more than my dad ever helped him.
How did you feel about him leaving? That's brutal.
Oh my gosh, it was just their decision. You know,
I know,
Mom
but
said he's going to get in trouble, and I can't control him. I'm worried, and so she sent him to live with my dad. And I told Paul, I said, if I could have stopped that, I would have stopped it. I would never have let you go live with Dad.
That'd be so sad. As a
because he didn't go to church anymore, and my dad just never denied the gospel, but he just wasn't active and didn't practice it, didn't believe it. And his patriarchal blessing was so amazing. He has so much potential, because it said that his name and face would be known throughout the church.
Wow.
So, I mean, Donnie Hallstrom came from Hawaii, and I played with him. I mean, Dad could have been somebody in the church from over there, because he was dynamic. He could speak. My mom used to say,
He had Riz, totally.
your
Yeah.
dad could
He had
sell ice to
charisma.
Eskimos,
He
is
totally
what
did.
she
Very-
used to say.
Tutu, so.
Anyone who
So
married
he
Tutu
just
has
had a
Riz.
lot of potential, and he threw it all away because of his choices. I mean, when you get a beautiful patriarchal blessing like that and don't live up to it, it's just sad. Just so sad. Like I said, he never denied the Holy Ghost. He never denied Christ or God. He just didn't
Live up to it.
live up to it.
He
Yeah,
can
his
still
potential.
learn.
So
Up
he's
there.
up there, and I hope he's still learning.
I'm sure he is.
Don't know where he is, but anyway, I'll tell you one last story before your daddy's done with me. When Tutu was living in that little house, down from me,
Yeah.
by that church
Oh yeah.
where she died, I had taken her to the Hell Theater to a play, and I used to come over and help her undress and get ready for bed, and get her in bed and kiss her goodnight and leave. And so after I drove her home from the play, I said, Mom, do you want me to come in and help you get ready for bed? And she said, no, I think I'm fine tonight. I can do it. And I said, are you sure? And she said, yeah. She said, but I want to ask you one question. I said, sure. And she said, do you think your dad will be waiting for me when I die? Here's this man that left her for somebody else, and it wasn't Arthur that she was sealed to. She wanted to know if my dad would be waiting for her. So doesn't that tell you how much she loved him her whole
Wow.
entire life? It was really sad. It about broke my heart. And so I didn't know, but I said, sure, Mom. I'm sure anybody that you love will be waiting for you. She said, well, I hope your dad will be. And I went, oh my gosh.
Wow.
And she was 88 years old, so 38 to 88, so that's 50 years she loved him.
Oh.
So I'm here out of love, right? Love was
Yes.
spoken.
Okay, somebody go hug Grammy.
I want
Oh. Anyway, we got all my dad's work redone in the temple. The Salt Lake Temple presidency redid all of his work except for having him sealed. And so I said, I'm going to seal him to my mom. They have a choice up there.
Yeah, they totally do.
And she may not want him. He may not want her. Right now she's just sealed to Arthur, but you can seal them to somebody else. And so I'm going to try and do that.
Yeah.